good people? You are now listening to another episode of At the Plate with Danny Foxworth. I am your humble narrator, Danny Foxworth, and once again, we're joined by his extremely special return guest. Matter of fact, full disclosure, this guest I have on, the first time he made his appearance, it ended up being the most downloaded, most listened to episode of At the Plate ever. So, I mean, this man, he's a Mariners fan, and they won the AL West, so I figured, why not reach back out and we'll talk about that and talk about some other things he did over the summer pertaining to baseball. And we're going to get into some playoff talk. So without further ado, we got the good brother Cordell in the building. Cordell, great to have you back, man. What's going on with you?
What's going on? Great to be back. Thank you for having me.
Yes, sir. So talking about some of the summer activities that you partook in that pertain to baseball, the first thing that I saw that you did, and I was high-key, low-key hating because this was something that was at the top of my sports, one of the things that near the top of my sports bucket list. You got to experience the Little League World Series in Williamsport, Pennsylvania. So share with us what that experience was like.
So I took my son for the first time in 2021 and, just hadn't always wanted to go back, but didn't get a chance to get back there. And I went back this summer, and it's one of the most unique experiences you can have in sports. You know what I'm saying? Because there's so many kids from so many different parts of the world, and they're all, connected through baseball, through their love of this game. So it was amazing, man. I saw a group of kids from the Puerto Rican team talking to a group of local girls and trying to overcome that communication barrier, and I thought that was cool. The Japanese team they were kind of standing adjacent to where me and my son were sitting. It just, like I said, correct me if I'm wrong. I don't know if you can get that kind of worldly experience at any other sporting event.
Yeah. So how far is Williamsport from where you're at in Pennsylvania?
From Harrisburg, Williamsport is about an hour 30, hour 40.
Okay, that's not bad.
Yeah.
So what was your son's reaction to going to the Little League World Series?
He loved it. You know what I'm saying? I mean, he, I think he looks at it. He's just turned 10 last Friday.
Okay.
And 12 is Little League age. So I think he looks at a lot of those kids and he sees himself. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is where I could be.
Yeah.
And I think it just gives him something to aspire to. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's dope. Just doing dad stuff like that and leaving such a great impression on your son. And it's like, man, once I get that age, I can do this. So, and I'm excited to see what becomes of that, if anything. Yeah. So, man, shout out to you for getting your son immersed in the game of baseball. And then also this summer, you took your son to Yankee Stadium. So talk about that, because that's another thing on my list that I've never experienced.
Yeah, so that was actually my second time to the Yankee Stadium. So what happened was I told my son, we try to go to a game every summer at a different ballpark. But we didn't go last year. And then this year I told him, I said, listen, we're going to go to New York City and we're going to either see a Mets or a Yankees game. Now, I have been to Yankee Stadium before. He has never been to New York City, period. And he always asked about going to New York City because his mother makes some trips up there sometimes.
Okay.
So I wasn't able to finesse the Mets trip, just financially, but I was at work one night and my man Kobe, shout out to Kobe, and he said to me, hey, listen, I was supposed to go to the game with my man, but he bailed. I got an extra ticket. It's yours if you want it. And you just got, and I was like, yeah, no doubt. I said, I'm going to buy one for my son. It was about $50 for the other ticket. And it was just a dope experience getting to take my son up to New York City and letting him experience the big city of dreams for the first time, ride the subway, all that stuff.
Yeah. So talk to the people about who haven't been to Yankee Stadium, myself included. What is it, in your opinion, that makes Yankee Stadium so unique?
So it's like a coliseum. Like you feel like you're in like an ancient Roman coliseum. Like other ballparks don't have that feel. Like just the way that everything is, like the field is like right in the middle and the walls it's just really dramatic and grandiose feeling. You know what I mean? Yeah. And even walking up to it, it's like you walk through these big gates. But it's right in the middle of the city, which is dope. You know what I mean?
Okay.
But yeah, to me, that's the biggest thing. You feel like you're in Gladiator or something when you're sitting in Yankee Stadium.
Yeah. And who did they play?
They played the Blue Jays, which was it was a big series because
Mm.
it ended up determining who would take the number one seed. You know what I mean? It will a contributing factor.
So speaking of American League, you're a diehard Seattle Mariners fan, and we
Yes,
talked
sir.
all about your fandom on the previous episode. And lo and behold, when the smoke cleared after the 162 games ended, your beloved Mariners are the champions of the American League West divisions. What was that like? The Mariners, it's not often that they win the division. Thankfully, thank you all for snatching that out of the hands. I always say anybody but the Astros, as a diehard Texas Rangers fan, anybody but Houston, and y'all got the job done.
Yeah.
Number one, kudos to the Mariners. And number two, how does it feel being the division champions?
I mean, it's a great feeling. I haven't felt it since I was a kid. You know what I mean? So it's definitely anytime, especially with a team like the Mariners, who we're not a big market team, so we're not always in the mix. We're not at the top of the list for free agency destinations or anything like that. So anytime that the front office is able to put together a team that can compete at this level and get to snatching the division title, that's a big deal. You know what I'm saying? It's a great
Yeah,
feeling.
really is. And we can't talk Mariners and not talk about the guy Big Dumper, man,
Yes,
Cal
sir.
Riley, who just went on an absolute tear this year, like an MVP like tear. Man, cracked 60 home runs and playing premium defense at a premium defensive position
No,
it's not easy, especially,
no, it's not.
especially a position like catcher that's so physically strenuous. You're always squatting, you're always on your knees,
Yep.
trying to work in sync with the pitcher to
Yeah.
get the hitter out of at the plate. So, man, what was I know it had to be a good thing, a good feeling for you experiencing the big dumper phenomenon. So, what was that like?
Yeah, I mean, Cal Raleigh, arguably, this side of Johnny Bench and Mike Piazza, which is obviously it's up for debate whether
Yeah,
he had the greatest season as a catcher ever. He's the best at his position, which I think it gets lost on a lot of people when they're doing the Aaron Judge, Cal Raleigh comparison. You know what I mean? Like, I mean, again, Aaron Judge is unquestionably the best hitter in the game. But as far as both sides of the ball are concerned, I do feel like Cal Raleigh has the edge this season. You know what I mean?
yeah,
For sure. I mean, he's definitely a better catcher than Aaron Judge is a right fielder. But I mean, yeah, you can just, when baseball is one of those magical games, man. It's not like basketball or football where like, you do get some consistency, but for a guy like Cal Raleigh, I mean, he's always been a great ball player, but you could just tell he was in a different zone this year. And I think it's sort of the home run derby kind of solidified it for me. You know what I
yeah.
mean? Like it was just sort of a magical moment with his dad and his brother. And it just kind of, this is his season. You know what I'm saying? So it was dope to watch. Shout out to Cal Riley.
Indeed, indeed. And also, I would be remiss if I didn't also mention Julio Rodriguez, who just got his second 30 home run, 30 stolen base season for the Mariners. And man, I tell you what, he's one of my favorite players in the league to watch, man. He is incredible.
He's an exciting young player to watch, and he's going to be hopefully a lifelong Mariner. And he kind of had a rough start, which is sort of a trend for him. But he picked it up there mid-season or so. And I mean, again, we would not be where we are without Julio Rodriguez as well. So shout out to J Rod.
Yeah. And also, man, y'all's pitching staff. My gosh, you
Come
talk
on,
about an embarrassment of riches, bro.
come on, man! One of the best in the league, baby. You know what I'm
Yes,
saying? My man Brian Woo's a little banged up right now, but we got that first round bye, so hopefully he'll be ready to go come Saturday night.
there it is. Keeping the AL West, my beloved Texas Rangers, man, it was an even number year. I think, Bruce Bochy typically does well in even numbered years, but it just wasn't the case, man. The
Yeah,
pitching, honestly, it was like this season for the Rangers, it was like the best of times and the worst of times because the rotation actually ended up having the best ERA in all of Major League Baseball. And I just saw today they actually, as a team, had the best fielding percentage, single season fielding percentage in MLB history this year. But that's offset by the team having the fourth worst batting average and the fourth worst OPS in the league. And they finished the year at 81 and 81. And then they spent like $500 million on Simeon and Corey Seager. And both of them, they're just, Seager's been ravaged by injuries. I think I saw he missed 140 games in the last 3 years. And then Marcus Simeon, well, I tell you, he hit 35 and he just took a nosedive with his production. He's hit below 700 OPS for like the second straight year now. And he's been on the IL almost 2 months. It's been a mess, man. I'm glad that they struck while the iron is hot and won the title in 2023, but man, it's not looking good. And then getting rumblings of there's no real good chemistry and cohesion in the clubhouse. And then on top of that, Bruce Bochy is up in age now. He's 70. So him and the GM Chris Young, they're going to have some serious heart-to-heart talks after in the off season and see where they go from there. But you know what? Enough about the Rangers. We got some more important things to talk about. We got this postseason. It's a postseason picture here that is finally come to fruition and everything is in place. So what I want to do is basically just go over the teams that are involved in this postseason bracket. So the first one I want to talk about, and this actually is crazy because AL Central, it looked like the Tigers were running away with it. They had a 15.5 game lead only for the Guardians to Usain Bolt walked them down and they ended up winning the division. I was legit shocked. So they actually play each other in the wild card, a best of 3 series. So with the wild card series, whoever has the best record, they get all 3 games on their home field. So the Tigers and Guardians are facing each other in the wild card, and they will be facing the winner of that series will face your beloved Seattle Mariners.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
How you feeling about this Tigers Guardians wild card?
I think that that's a tough call, man. The Guardians, I think they're claiming it's one of the greatest comebacks of all time. I mean, they were below 500 at the beginning of September.
Yeah.
Or excuse me, I think it was the beginning of August maybe. But they went 19-4 over their last 23 games. And it's really attributed to pitching and Jose Ramirez, really.
Yeah.
Playoffs is different. Obviously we know Tarek Skubal is probably going to go game 1. I'm going to go Tigers.
All right.
I'm going to go Tigers. I'm going to go Tigers. What say you?
You know what? I completely agree with you. So now we're going to go to the next AL wildcard matchup, which, man, it couldn't have been set up any better, man. You got the Yankees and the Red Sox.
There it is.
And whoever wins that series will face the 1-seeded Toronto Blue Jays in the divisional series. So how you feeling about this one?
I got the Yanks, man. I got the Yanks. I mean, Garrett Crochet and the Red Sox are, obviously they balling out of control, but I just think the Yankees are a more talented team top to bottom, and I fully anticipate the Yankees moving on to the next round to face Toronto.
Yeah, shout out to former Charleston River Dog Aaron Judge. So we're going to move over to the National League wild card. So we got the Cincinnati Reds taking on the LA Dodgers. And man, shout out to my dog friend of the podcast, Jay Braze. He's a diehard Reds fan. As soon as they got the final out, he texted me. He was like, "Dog, we in."
Yes, sir.
And I was like, "Man." Now look, I was like, "Oh, y'all play the Dodgers. God, good luck and God bless." So I'm taking the Dodgers in this one. What say you?
The Dodgers have had some well-documented bullpen woes, but I just think that it's going to be. First of all, I'm giving it to the Dodgers just based off of talent, but shout out to Tito Francona, one of those legendary guys cut from that cloth, one of those legendary old school baseball guys. I think they said I don't want to mess it up, but I want to say the first season he was a new manager at every place he's went. They went to the playoffs. So this is his first season as the Reds manager. He's an old school guy. I always root for those kind of guys, and it's gonna be dope to see Ellie De La Cruz on the big stage in the
Yeah,
playoffs. That's
man.
gonna be exciting. So shout out to the Reds, but I think the Dodgers is gonna take it.
Yeah, shout out to Dave Roberts. And you can't beat playoff experience in championship
Mhm.
pedigree too. And then the next NL wild card is the Padres and the Cubbies.
Yes, sir.
Man, and the Padres were hot on the Dodgers' heels in the NL West for a good portion of the season.
Right.
And the Cubs, man, I tell you what, PCA is quickly becoming one of my favorite players in the league.
Yeah, he plays hard. He's an exciting guy. His I think his offense kind of tailed off a little bit, but he's still holding it down out there in the outfield.
Yeah. So how you feeling about this series?
I think the Padres, conversely, unlike their NL West brethren, they have one of the best bullpens in the league. And I think that the Padres, again, not only they're just a better team top to bottom.
There it is. So the Padres will go on to face the Milwaukee Brewers. But now we're going to get back up into the American League bracket in this upper corner.
Uh-huh.
Now we have the Mariners facing off against, we say it was the Guardians?
We said Detroit. We
You
both
said
said
Detroit.
Detroit.
Okay, so
Yeah.
Detroit and Seattle. I mean, listen, homerism aside, how you
Yeah,
feeling?
I still think Seattle is a better team. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think Seattle's a better team. I think we have a better. They got Tarek Skubal, Riley Green, Kerry Carpenter. Those guys can ball. But I just think that I'm counting on the Guardians wearing them down a little bit, and I think Seattle's gonna finish the job.
There you go. And then the next series in the American League Divisional Series, we got the Yankees and the Blue Jays. Man, it's like they just cannot stop fighting. You're like the younger brother and older brother. They're always scrapping. Man, I think this might be the series I'm looking forward to the most in this postseason because with Toronto, and I just love watching their method of small ball. And then you got Bo Bichette. He's one of my favorites. And then you got Vladdy Jr. Man,
They're an exciting group to watch.
yeah, they really are, man.
Great fans too. You know what I mean? Like that Rogers Center that Rogers Center be booming.
Rocking.
It's gonna
Boy,
be crazy.
oh my God. See, now you peeling that scab back. And I'm
Mm-hmm.
just thinking when we lost to them at the Rogers Center and Jose Batista hit that go-ahead bomb and just,
Joey Bats.
man,
Yeah, I remember
ooh,
that. I remember that.
I thought he got his comeuppance because he got punched in the face by Ruben Odor early in that
I,
year.
I remember that
And
too.
Batista got the last laugh, man. I sat there, I wanted to cry. I was like, I can't believe we're going out like this.
I was at the bistro that night. I'll never forget that. Yeah.
Man, goodness gracious. This is a toss-up for me. I'm really having a tough time.
Well, I have a question for you. Aaron Judge, historic season, numbers off the charts. Probably going to be the MVP. Do we expect his postseason struggles to continue this year? What say you?
I say no.
Okay.
He's especially with an MVP season, he's got to step up.
Okay.
And
I hope you're right.
Yeah. I hope I'm right too. But yeah, he being an MVP, there's really no excuse for him to falter in the postseason. But you know what?
Yeah.
I'm going with the Yankees in the ALCS
Woo!
or ALDS. I'm taking the Yankees.
I would be rooting for the Yanks because Aaron, I like to see the best compete, but I would place my money on Toronto.
I like that.
And again, I'm fresh off of watching them. You know what I'm saying? 3 weeks ago in Yankee Stadium. I'm betting on Toronto, man.
All right. So I wish I had a coin to do a coin flip for the third person. I do have a matter of fact. Hold on. All right, got my coin.
Got your
So,
coin?
Yeah.
leave it up
So
to chance like two.
heads Blue Jays, tails Yankees. Here we go. Tails Yankees.
There it is.
So Yankees head on to the ALCS. Now we will go to back up to the National League bracket. So now we have the Dodgers and the Phillies in the NLDS. Man, it's always a dogfight with these two teams. Man, I tell you. What say you about this one?
I'm going Philly. Just think Philly's been more consistent. Yeah, I just think that Philly is they're just a hotter team. You know what I mean? They've been a hotter team. Kyle Schwarber is the man, great clubhouse guy, great leader. Also a guy that's been there before, even though it's been a minute,
Yeah.
since the Cubs in 2016. But I'm gonna go Phillies. I don't know if that would be the popular pick or not. I feel like it would be. But I'm gonna pick Phillies.
You know what? I'm gonna have to go Dodgers with this one. So we might have to break out the trusty nickel again.
There it is. Let's see what he say.
All right. So this one. Heads Phillies, tails Dodgers. Here we go. And landed on heads. Phillies.
It's Phillies. You know what I'm saying?
So if
Yeah.
Phillies advance to the NLCS, well, they will face the winner of the Brewers and the Padres. So another Milwaukee is another team that I enjoy watching because they like do that situational hitting and that small ball as well. And it got 97 wins this year, which is the most in team history.
I saw them in DC, played a whoop up on the Nationals. I mean, beat the brakes off them.
Yeah,
They
and you
beat the
know what?
brakes.
And it seems like every year they get in the playoffs, they end up just screwing the pooch and just be a disappointment. But you know what? I think that changes this year, and I got the Brewers beating the Padres in the NLDS. What say you?
I think the Brewers win with pitching, defense, and speed around the bases most of the time. But like as far as the lineup is concerned, they're not star-studded. And I'm gonna give the edge to the San Diego Padres.
Ooh,
Yeah,
I like
yeah.
that. I like that. And so the Nickel's going to have to make his appearance again. Heads Brewers, tails Padres. Let's see what we got. Heads got the Brewers.
It could be. Could be. That one's gonna be a good one.
Yeah.
That's gonna be a good one.
Well, I tell you, baseball in October is nothing like it.
I just told my pops, I said, I got to save my PTO because next season I want to take this week off. You know what I mean? To sit at home, watch the games.
So now back up to the ALCS. We got the top two teams
Yep.
facing each other. We got the Blue Jays and we got the Seattle Mariners. Boy, I tell you, this is.
I would go. That is tough. I'm gonna go Seattle, man. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna go Seattle. And that's not because I'm being a homer. Like I just think that there's something special going on with that team this year. This is the best team we've ever had in my lifetime, and I just think that I'm looking for them to be galvanized coming off of the ALDS. You know what I'm saying? And continuing to handle business. It's going to be tough. It might go 7. You know what I mean? It might go 7.
Hey, put that straight in my veins. I need a 7-game series of this, dog. And you know what? I'm going with the Mariners too.
There you go.
So the Seattle Mariners advance to the World Series where they will face the winner of the Phillies and the Milwaukee Brewers. And so it's 1-2 versus 1-2 in both leagues.
Yeah, I think. Yeah, that sounds about right. I ain't mad at that.
Yeah, I may have to go Phillies on this.
Over the Brewers, I'm gonna ride with you on that one as well. I'm gonna go Phillies.
All right, so we got Phillies and the Mariners in the World Series, and
yeah, that's my Phillies is my pop squad. You know what I'm saying?
Okay,
that would be exciting. Yeah.
Oh, see, there you go. So now you got personal reasons. Man, I didn't know your pops was a Phillies fan. That's dope.
My pops a Phillies fan. Yeah, lifelong. That would be exciting.
Yeah. So, how you feeling about this World Series matchup?
I'm trying not to be like. I mean, I'm being objective. I'm like looking at it like from a baseball perspective, not a Seattle Mariners fan perspective. They don't have Zach Wheeler. Like, you know what I mean? And I just think that that means a lot I'm gonna go Seattle, man. You know what I mean? Put it on the record. You feel me?
Hey,
Put it on
put
the
it on the
record.
record.
The first, not only the first World Series appearance, you know what I'm saying, but I got Seattle taking it all, baby. You know what I mean? Let's go. Over
There you
Philly.
go. I love it. You stand on that. I
Yeah.
love it. And
Yeah.
shout out to my homegirl Dana. She's a diehard Mariners fan too, so she's going to be over the moon when she hears this will work tomorrow.
Yeah. Shout out to Dana. You know what I'm saying? We all we got.
So, got the Seattle Mariners winning the 2025 World Series. Man, you know what? I hope this happens because that y'all are due. Y'all have been in the league for a minute now, and y'all have yet to have y'all won a World Series?
We never even been to the World Series.
Man, see, there's even more incentive, man. I hope y'all do it, man. Seriously.
Yeah, no doubt, no doubt. Seattle, you know what I'm saying? It's our year, 2025. You know what I mean?
Speak it into existence, man. So Cordell, once
Yeah,
again, bro, thank you so much for being the guest on here. I always love chopping it up with you about baseball and hip hop too, man.
no doubt, man, no doubt. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. And you officially have an open door policy to the podcast. So anytime you want to hop on, talk baseball or talk hip hop, just put out the bat signal. We'll make it happen.
Okay, no doubt. I got you.
And so tell the people where they can find you.
@ just Cordell on Instagram. Probably what I'm saying. That's catch me if you can, like the gingerbread man. You know what I mean?
Man, so Cordell, again, thank you so much for being a guest, bro. I
No
appreciate it.
doubt. Thank you
And
for
thank y'all
having me,
for
brother.
listening. Yeah, and thank y'all for listening. Make sure you like, download, and subscribe to At the Plate with Danny Foxworth. Tell a friend to tell a friend about the podcast. Subscribe to my YouTube channel. You can find me at Danny Foxworth 843. There you can find videos for every episode of this podcast, as well as my Candle podcast, A Wicked Good Time with Danny Foxworth, Since We Last Spoke with Danny Foxworth, and Growing Up Low Country with Liz and Danny. And for Cordell and myself, this has been another episode of At the Plate. And until next time, y'all be good. Three
Peace.
strikes.